And I do want to bring in right now to weigh in on this, on the auto side of this, tech guru, Wall Street Journal reporter Tim Higgins. Tim, we just, again, the Wall Street Journal reporting there is no deal between the U.S. and Canada. And automobiles, and that's your specialty, is a big piece of this. GM's got, for example, they've got a big plant up in Ontario. This is one of the threats, and I don't want to say threats, but this is one of the difficult bargaining chips and items that has come to pass between the U.S. and Canada, and there is no deal. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's a big deal for GM. It's a big deal for Chrysler with a big factory across the street, across the river from Detroit and Windsor. What we've seen here, really a global kind of chess game as the Trump administration pressures Mexico. We've seen some changes there to increase the amount of components that are made in the U.S. and U.S. the vehicles that have come into the U.S. We've seen that. We've seen the EU respond, show some willingness to kind of, lessen their tariffs in that regard. So it seems to be having some effect on that. But the question is now Canada. It throws a lot more uncertainty into those automakers' planning.
Yeah, it's interesting because we also have the news today from Ford that they're not going to be importing Chinese-made cars. So the automakers are really having now to respond in earnest to this. But the Mexico portion and the Mexico deal, and again, the Journal's reporting that the president's going to tell Congress at some point this afternoon he's going to proceed with a Mexico-only deal. The impact seems to be not as bad with regards to Canada as it does with Mexico if we weren't to figure out what to do with auto parts, with production, with the assembly that happens, the parts made in Mexico, the assembly here, and vice versa.
Yeah, Mexico has said that maybe 30% of the cars that go into the U.S. Wouldn't meet their new requirements. So pretty dramatic there, without a doubt.
What do you make of the issue with Ford making that announcement today with regards to China? Because then you've also got the EU side of all of this. The German automakers, they're I don't want to say panicking, but they've got a serious problem. It's affected their markets over there because we've got these trade tiffs going on. It all seems to come back to cars.
Yeah, absolutely. And the back and forth with China, for example, is China started talking about higher tariffs for U.S. cars coming in there. Really, one of the big companies to be affected by that were actually the German companies. The BMW and Mercedes have huge operations in the U.S. South, that they export those big SUVs to the China market, which is having a new interest and thirst for those larger cars that make a lot of money. So we've seen that. And then with Ford, for example, as you pointed out, has been making some dramatic changes to its kind of long-term planning for product development, right, and was planning on bringing this vehicle from China to the U.S. and now scrapping it.
The president actually made comments just moments ago about Canadian vehicles. I want to play that soundbite for you back. Let's listen to this.
I say affectionately, we'll just have to tariff those cars coming in. That's a lot of money coming into the coffers of the United States.
Okay, so again, the president making those comments earlier, and the aim is squarely now at Canada.
Absolutely. Now square out, and as we're pointing out here, GM and Chrysler are really affected by that, have some big operations there. And the Canadian government for years now has been trying to boost the investment from those U.S. automakers in Canada because it's so important to their economy and it's so important to kind of their future.
All right, I do want to get some more breaking news out to our viewers right now. The U.S. Trade Representative is now saying and confirming that President Trump has notified Congress of his intent to sign the trade agreement with Mexico and Canada if Canada is willing. These headlines are just crossing, Tim. Your reaction to that? That could be good news for the Canadians if this is more of a, look, we're still willing to talk to you, Canada. Maybe the discussions can continue.
Sure. A lot of pressure right now, a lot of gamesmanship going on, trying to get Canada to go along with what they want.